Hi everyone and welcome to Jab and Move with your host Stephen, and today we're going to be having my predictions and my thoughts on the fights tomorrow night, which will be Tyson Fury versus Arslanbek Makhmudov and Conor Benn versus Regis Prograis, the first fight for him with Suffer, and obviously the big return of Tyson Fury. So let's dive into it, guys. We're going to cover Conor Benn versus Regis Prograis first, and then we'll do Tyson Fury at the end. So this one for me is actually quite a good fight. I like this fight a little bit because, yes, the weight again is another catch weight. I think they're at 150. So Ben's got to come down 10 pounds from what he was against Eubank, and Prograis is actually coming up to 150. I think his last fight was 140. I think he's fought at 142 at the highest, and we've seen what's gone on in the previous fights against Diaz, Catterall and Haney at the 140 level. So we could go through that very, very shortly. In terms of Conor Benn, he had two good performances against Eubank. Let's put it that way. He didn't light up the show for me. He didn't show that he's world quality level against the absolute elite within the 147 ranks, or even possibly further up. But what he did do was sort of dispel the rumours that he can't box, because he can. The first one, a bit more loose. The second one, we've seen more technical ability from him against Eubank and more control in the fight. And also, because it was jumping up in weight and stuff, it was given a lot of kudos. And a British fight with legacy from fathers before, it got obviously all the trajectory and all the guard behind it that it needed. So, do I think it's going to put him in a good stead? Yes, mentally I think it will do. Do I think it shows his ability as a top fighter? No. Now, if he beats Regis Prograis at 150, I think that is a step in the right direction. And this is, for me, is something that he's got to show now, because Conor Benn has shown boxing ability, but he hasn't shown a world elite boxing ability. He's got to now build to this, because I feel his ceiling is much higher than, say, a Eubank who he fought previously. He can go on to be a multiple world champion. I said this way before everything happened with him in Eubank, that he could be one of Britain's best ever champions. Now he has to prove that and obviously go to the next level moving forward, and he will do that as time goes on, I believe. But with Regis Prograis, it's a former two-time world champion. He has got the experience, he has fought some of the biggest names in boxing, and he is a very smart fighter, but his legs have gone, and you can see that in his previous fights against Diaz and Catterall. He is way too easy to be hit. His defense isn't as strong as it used to be. He can pick out counter shots and be on the advance very well. So he has still got that ability massively. But there are really big flaws in terms of what he can do moving forward. And I think the age has really started to catch up with him. Obviously, I think he's 10 years kind of senior, and obviously at the same sort of height, the weight side. And you see him even at, like, when I've done press conferences and stuff, Conor does look like the bigger fighter. So he's going to have the more power. Now, will he lose some of the power because of dripping down in weight? Possibly, but we also know if there's no rehydration clause, he can come back up there, and we all know what fighters do with boiling themselves down and building themselves back up. So I don't see much of an issue there. Again, it's a good fight. It's a good stepping stone for where Conor's going to go next. I'm happy he didn't go for a Ryan Garcia fight straight away or something, because I think he would have got absolutely slaughtered. If I'm perfectly honest, he needs to build himself up, and I think he needs a couple of fights against experienced ex-world champions and possibly contenders before he gets to that next level. So where do I think this is going to be won and lost? I think, to be honest, it will be the stamina side and the power side on Conor Benn's. Conor Benn will take hits. His defense isn't good enough against a Regis Prograis. He is going to get hit, but he will absorb those hits. But I think he will give a lot more punches to Regis Prograis, and that's where the difference will be, because Regis will not be able to take the power and be able to handle that as the rounds go on. I think we're looking at a stoppage actually in Benn's favour. I think we'll look at around 8, round 9 stoppage. So for me, I'm going for a knockout win for Conor Benn around the 8-9 mark. Let me know your thoughts on that one, guys. What do you think is going to happen there? Do you think he is going to slip up? Because again, mentally, he's coming down quite a lot from the British bout between Eubank and obviously everything that happened there, and the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium and the huge crowds and all the fanfare with that. This is a little different. So mentally, it's not going to be at the same bandwidth as what it was before, but let me know your thoughts on that one. So the next one we're going to go into is Tyson Fury. That's the big one. It's obviously the chief support, Conor Benn 2, Tyson Fury versus Arslanbek Makhmudov. And I've spoken about this a couple of times on my live previously and another video I did. This shouldn't be a good fight. This should be a very easy fight, a very winnable fight for Tyson Fury, and this should be a fight that everyone shouldn't really need to tune into if it wasn't for the other factors I'm about to talk about. But Tyson Fury's not fought for nearly 17 months. The last previous 2 fights were 2 losses to Arslanbek. Before that, he then laboured to a win against Ngannou, pissed about with Chisora, and the last, I think, world-class performance we've seen from a Tyson Fury was against Dillian Whyte at Wembley. I believe that was 2022, if I'm correct in saying. So we've not seen the best of Tyson Fury for over 4 years now. We've also seen very little of Tyson Fury apart from a few fights. So what Tyson Fury are we going to see on Saturday? And where does that sort of factor into the Makhmudov conversation? I don't know. For me, I think the actual fight itself, Tyson Fury wins. And I'll give my prediction in a second, but I believe he wins. No real doubt about that. I have no concerns about him winning. It's about how he does it and how he goes about it. It's if he can show that he can be a 3-time world champion, or if he's even good enough to beat a Joshua. Now, I know that sounds a bit mad for me after what I've said about Joshua, but if they've both regressed a lot, Joshua's got a chance. If Fury hasn't regressed as much, then I believe Fury still wins that quite convincingly. But we need to see what type of Tyson Fury we've got in on Saturday. So here's my kind of counter prediction. I guess I think we will see. I don't know why. I don't know why it's telling me this. I actually don't think Tyson Fury gets Makhmudov out there. Something just in my head tells me he wins on points, which is not good enough for me if he does that. He needs to be out there. I think within 6 rounds, Makhmudov needs to be on the floor, knocked out. He cannot be there any longer than round 7 to make this a very convincing win for Tyson Fury. But I don't think we will see that. I think we will see Tyson Fury play to the crowd. I'm going to say Tyson Fury maybe mock Makhmudov a little bit. Probably not take it as much as he seriously as he should do in terms of actually going out for the pure victory. Maybe to try and get the rounds, but I don't think that's a smart idea either. We need to see a convincing performance. And I don't think we will see that from Tyson Fury on Saturday night, but I do believe he will win. So I'm going for a points victory for Tyson Fury against Makhmudov. And I also think that raises more questions than it probably answers come Sunday morning. So let me know your thoughts, guys. What do you reckon to these 2 fights? They are interesting fights. Obviously, Conor Benn now starting to make his way towards the 147 division and what he's going to do there and fighting a bona fide ex-world champion in Regis Prograis. And also Tyson Fury's comeback. Is he going to be able to come back? And what type of Fury are we going to see? Let me know your thoughts, guys. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I look forward to seeing you on the next one. Take care.